No, it's definitely not enough. And I think it's actually, Dave, it's very sad for the country that we are in this kind of a state of disunity, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but a couple of things just to touch on everything that you just, introed with, because there's so many stunning developments, legal developments over the last probably 48, 72 hours, Comey, and then of course this other CDC individual who got indicted, which everybody, nobody paid any attention to because of Comey. But number one, Comey, the crazy thing is when I left the government, when I retired from the military, Comey actually presented me with the highest award that a person can get from the FBI. I still have that award. I have a big old plaque they gave me. I went over to the FBI, and a year later, they got me under investigation for a totally bogus effort. So, and a lot of people, sadly, the propaganda machinery over the last 8-10 years has actually worked to the degree that people think that, that I went to jail, that I was a traitor, and all this kind of stuff. And nothing could be further from the truth. My case actually ended up getting dismissed because of egregious government misconduct. And yeah, I did fight for the last 4 years in a legal battle to get some of those funds recouped. It'll never be as much as I had to fork out, and thank God for the American people. But a couple of other pieces of breaking news. Bloomberg Law is now reporting today that the Department of Justice looks like they're going to open up another case in the Eastern District of Virginia for leaking of classified intelligence by James Comey. So you have this North Carolina, I think it's the Eastern District of North Carolina case for basically a threat to the President of the United States' life, his 8647 stuff. And I'd like to take a second to talk about grand jury processes, because I've been in front of a few of them. But this EDVA case, Eastern District of Virginia, it's tied to the leaking of classified information to this Columbia University law professor that Comey was a buddy with. And then that guy went out and promoted that classified information. Comey actually said, and I think he wrote about this, he stupidly wrote about it in his book. One of the things that should come out to everybody that watches James Comey is the level of arrogance and the size of that man's ego. And that's what's going to cause him to get into trouble. Before I jump into this CDC one, the business about a grand jury, because everybody's kind of going, well, what's a couple of seashells at the seashore, right? It's really a grand jury process, and they said this has been going on for 8 to 10 months. In order for a grand jury to get indictable information, these are citizens now, and in this case, citizens of North Carolina, eastern part of North Carolina, they have to be presented an abundance of evidence. I'm telling you, it might be easy to indict a ham sandwich in Washington, D.C., but I guarantee the rest of the country it's not that easy. And so there must be text messages, there must be communications. I guarantee they had human physical witnesses go in front of that grand jury that testified against Jim Comey. My guess is that Jim Comey probably got called in front of that grand jury as well. When you go, for anybody that's never been in front of a grand jury, David, you don't take your lawyers in front of you go there, by yourself. The prosecuting attorney is allowed in the room, and then the grand jury is made up of citizens, American citizens. So it is it can be a frightening thing for some people. I've been in front of a bunch of them. I've been in front of Atlanta. I've been in front of Congress grand jury. I've been in front of one up in D.C. So I got my experiences in front of grand jury. So I know what I'm talking about. I guarantee that this grand jury in Eastern District of North Carolina got presented an abundance of evidence that made them believe that Comey was intentionally threatening. When he put those shells on the beach, it was an intentional threat. The other little piece of this, if you haven't paid real close attention to the audience, is that they are now looking to garnish all of the money made by Comey when he sold his book. Because what Comey did was he put this threat out, he intentionally did it, and he intentionally did it in order to raise funds, I believe, or to make people aware that he was coming out with another book, because he's got himself sitting on the bench or on the beach, with his new book. I mean, so there's a lot of little pieces to this thing, and I think everybody ought to be paying attention to it. This additional Eastern District of Virginia case is another stunning development. It's being reported in Bloomberg Law, so it's not some theoretical thing. My guess is that Todd Blanche, is saying to his team, look, if this guy committed crimes, we're going after him, because as you said, Dave, this guy is a former director of the FBI. They have purview for so many other cases across the country, and we now know that this FBI under him, and frankly under Mueller as well, was so weaponized against really conservative voices, yours truly being one of them.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.